Hey everyone, welcome back to our last segment. And in this segment, we're going to be going over a case study that we've created specifically for you all as cohort 1. And for this case study, it is a MEKHO operator, and we will actually be using this person as your sample for every single deliverable that you'll have to submit. So we're going to go over her sample business plan that we've created for her, and then we will go into how to use the template to create your own one-page business plan. And specifically here, you're going to be able to print it out and bring it with you to our first networking session, which will be on the 28th. That's next Friday. So you'll be submitting this to us online through Canvas, and then you'll also be printing it and bringing it with you. Or if you can't print it there at home, we can print it for you at the Jacob Center as well. So just have that available. So then here is our case study. We've created this person. It's completely fictional, and we've named her Joanna, and her business is called Joy from Home. So she's 36 years old, has 2 young kids at home, lives in the City Heights area, was born and raised in Oaxaca, and has been now in business for 5 months. Another important thing to note is that she only is accepting cash right now, but loves traditional food, and that's what she's making. She's making and selling delicious tamales, oaxaqueños, to family and friends using her home kitchen. So now even friends of friends have heard about her authentic food, and her business is expanding. She has a lot of orders that are coming from other oaxaqueños who are hungry for a taste of home. She also sells platters for people having birthday parties, quinceañeras, and other large gatherings. And the money she makes is important to her family, but she's afraid to grow until she gets her permits, and she's not quite sure how to do this, how she has to market. And right now she doesn't advertise online. She doesn't take credit cards or anything like that. Word of mouth is her only form of marketing. And so she's looking to really come out of the shadows, traditionalize her business, get it up and running. And so in looking at her business, she's going to follow us all throughout all 4 of our specific classes. But let's take a look at the business plan that we've created for her and what that looks like. So, at the top of the business plan, at the bottom, at the top left corner is her business name. It's Joy from Home. Her business type for this purposes, she's a micro enterprise home kitchen operation. That's what she's trying to expand to do. And then tagline. So, if she's ever talking to people, what's like the really quick way that she can introduce her business? And that's Joy from Home makes delicious, authentic tamales oaxaqueños. And then we've also created an elevator pitch. So this is the pitch that's slightly longer. The traditional elevator pitch is what you could tell someone as you're riding up or down in an elevator, but here it's Joy from Home makes delicious, authentic, and homemade tamales oaxaqueños, stuffed with chicken or pork and mole. These tamales oaxaqueños or Oaxacan-style tamales come from the state of Oaxaca in Mexico, where owner Joanna Joy de la Cruz was raised. So that's kind of her larger description of the business. And then we're going to go into now the market opportunity in this first column here. So the problem statement is that with over 3 million people living in San Diego and Tijuana as well, and over half transplants, Joy from Home offers authentic homemade taste. And so the gap on the market, and again, this is someone that's fictional and made up, but for these purposes, we're saying that the gap in the market is that no other tamales in the Oaxacan style are being sold in the region. And so then the next thing we look at is legality. So for MEKHOs specifically, it's that MEKHO laws were implemented in San Diego in 2022, making it legal to cook and sell from home kitchens. If you're a street vendor, for example, you could mention, the new street vending ordinance in the city of San Diego, or SB 972. If you're a caterer, the laws that are in place for catering and are long established, same with cottage food, et cetera. So that's where you're just going to highlight what is the actual legality of what you're doing. And then competition. So competition, just highlighting who are you mainly competing against. That's going to be local restaurants, street vendors selling tamales. But then what's your competitive advantage? And that's that Joy from Home is the only Oaxacan tamale vendor. And the unique selling point through that is that it's quality and authenticity being made from a home kitchen from, a native immigrant. And so then we kind of look at what is the customer discovery process, and what that kind of means is who are her customers? Has there been any insight into who she or you would be working with? And so here it's that she's been selling tamales to a small group of customers over 6 months, and every month more people are buying. And most of the customers are women that also live in the City Heights area, and over 50% are also from the Oaxaca region of Mexico. So it's a really good idea as you're moving forward, whether you're already operating your business or you're looking to start operating your business, is to think about, who are your customers and keep track of that. So you know how you can pivot accordingly or target marketing for those individuals. And then key business information is that middle column right there. And so the first thing that you're going to highlight is, what is your current entity type? So Joanna is currently operating as a sole proprietor. As Tanya already mentioned before, if you have a business, doesn't matter if you fill out any forms, you are a sole proprietor unless you have, another entity type. So she's, currently operating as a sole proprietorship. Company milestones, so that's where we're asking you to highlight, when did the business planning start, when were the first sales, if there's any other significant milestones, like maybe you got permits or things like that, list that there in terms of dates. And then number of employees and team size. So for Joanna, we're having it that she's working, and then her daughter is also working for her. Funding to date, she's bootstrapped about $1,000 to contribute to her business. Geographical focus, San Diego County, and she's specifically targeting the City Heights neighborhood where she resides. And then traction is all about, what has been happening. And so she's now had 5 months of selling to family and friends, and the business is expanding. And then the next category is awards/publicity. So one of the things that you all can write on your business plan is that you were chosen for Get Cooking cohort #1. And then if there's any other things that you want to highlight, like articles written about you, or maybe, social media posts that went slightly viral, things like that, add that there. The next segment is going to be your marketing strategy. And so to start with, we're talking about social media channels. So we have a section for each, social media type. So Insta, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, website. As you can see, for Joanna, she has a Facebook and an Insta, but not the rest of them. And maybe throughout the course of this program, we'll show her as the example as we create, these social media accounts for her as well. And then logo. So down here is her current working logo. If you don't currently have a logo, feel free to, and you'll see on the template on in the next slide is that, you can just explain what you're thinking about for your logo. That way, when you're, speaking to people at the networking event next week, that's one thing that you might be able to come up or like see other people's logos and see, what might work for you. And then that final column is going to be your management team. So for Joanna, it's her experience, 45 years of experience cooking, 28 years of owning a restaurant, or not owning, working in a restaurant. And then also her daughter. So we've explained that her daughter is currently her marketing manager and sous chef, helps her at the MEKHO at home, and is a high school student hoping to attend culinary school upon graduation. So the final thing that we want to see on your business plan are your next steps. So for Joanna specifically, she's operating a little bit under the table right now, doesn't have permits, but she, wants to get her EIN number, wants to then open up a business bank account. And then she's explaining that she's going to then submit her MEKHO permit and scheduled inspection, is focused on finding a mentor and expert support, updating her logo, creating a website, and expanding social media presence, and then also looking into getting a payment processing account to start taking credit cards, maybe using something like Square or Venmo, which is something that we'll be talking about in a future class as well. And so this is kind of the example, and you'll have access, to this form as well as you create yours. So you can use this as an example of, where you need to fill out things. But then we also have a blank template form that, you'll all have access to. And specifically, we have areas that you can type it in, and hopefully, the formatting works out for you. We've, kind of explained each type, so you have like a description of what goes where and things like that. If you have any questions about actually using this template, please feel free to reach out to us. But just in terms of how it's going to work is it's currently in a Google format, like a Google Slides format. So you're going to go in and it'll be view only. So you'll just make a copy of it, and then using, Google Slides, you can then just go in once you have a copy and make your own edits. And it's already formatted to be the size of a standard printer paper, 8.5 by 11. So, once it's completed, it should just be able to like easily print for you. So that is your template, that is your deliverable for the homework. And we really look forward to seeing it and being able to have it, in hand when you're all going around and doing your networking and matching with mentors next week. And so again, just congratulations on making it past and through your first class. And we can't wait to continue this program. And as always, please give us any feedback, or things that you'd like to see, or if you have any questions. So thanks so much.